Hey everyone and welcome. If you're an FSL teacher, you know the job is all about opening up a whole new world for your students. But let's be real, sometimes that journey feels like an uphill battle, especially when you're trying to make sure every single learner is coming along with you. So let's dive right into some strategies that can really help.
Have you ever heard this? Or maybe in a really tough moment, even had a flicker of that thought yourself? It's something you hear in the staff room, at parent-teacher conferences, and honestly, it can be pretty disheartening. But what if I told you that it's just plain wrong? Because yeah, it's a total myth. The research is crystal clear on this one. With the right kind of support, every single student can make progress, from your A1, A2 beginners all the way up to your more advanced B1, B2 kids. Today, we're going to break down 3 super practical, inclusive strategies that work for everyone. Plus, to make it easy, I've put together a free resource kit for you that I'll tell you about in just a minute.
Okay, strategy number 1 is all about building confidence through structure. I'm talking about scaffolding with sentence frames. This is an absolute game changer because it lowers the cognitive load. Think about it. Instead of fumbling for grammar and vocab, your students can just focus on getting their ideas out. And that's the goal, right? Communication.
And the best part? The impact is immediate. I hear from teachers all the time who say this one simple trick gets even their most reluctant students talking within just a lesson or two. It just lowers that barrier to entry. Now, what's so powerful here is how easy it is to adapt. For your A1 and A2 learners, the goal is just getting them to participate and feel successful. So you use those simple starters. Model it once, have them repeat, and do a quick pair share. Done. But for your B1 and B2 learners, you can level it up. You shift the goal to building an argument. You give them frames that push them to justify their opinions, which moves the whole task from just repeating something to actually communicating a real thought.
And to make this super easy, that free kit I mentioned has ready-to-use posters and argument frames you can just project or print out tomorrow.
So here it is. Your unlock code for all the free resources is Inclusion 2024. That's INCLUSION and the numbers 2024. The download link is right there in the description.
And hey, while you're here, if you're finding this helpful, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next explainer and the next free kit. Okay, on to strategy number 2. All right, let's talk about our second strategy, embracing multimodal tasks. Now, the key here is that we keep the same learning objective for everybody, but we give students choices in how they show us what they've learned. This is huge for motivation, you guys, especially for students who might have attention challenges or just aren't big fans of traditional reading and writing.
So the learning goal stays the same, but the way they show it can change. A beginner can totally succeed by drawing a picture with a single sentence in a speech bubble. Meanwhile, an intermediate student could create a mini podcast or even do a quick Pechakucha-style talk, 10 slides, 20 seconds each. Both students are showing their understanding, just at different levels of complexity.
And let me tell you, the power of choice is no joke. I've had colleagues tell me that just offering 2 or 3 different ways to complete a task gets participation from students who were completely silent the week before. It's that powerful.
As you can probably guess, inside the free kit you'll find a whole task bank with templates for things like podcasts and visual debates to make offering these choices really simple.
Our third and final strategy is all about harnessing the power of the group. I'm talking about structured peer roles. We all know that good group dynamics can be a huge motivator, but you also know how unstructured group work can go, right? One kid does all the work and the others just coast. By assigning specific, clear roles, we make sure every single student has a job and a reason to contribute.
For your beginners, you keep the roles super simple, like partner A asks, partner B answers. Then you swap after a minute. Easy. But for your advanced groups, this is where it gets really interesting. The roles can teach actual collaboration skills. You can have a spokesperson, a mediator, a synthesizer, even a critical observer. This adds a whole other layer of learning to the task itself. And again, the feedback from the classroom is just so positive. Teachers tell me that reluctant learners are so much more likely to jump in when their job is super clear, when it's just for a short amount of time, and here's the key, when it's supported by the sentence starters we talked about in Strategy 1. See how these all start to connect and build on each other? And yep, the free kit's got your back here too. It includes printable roll cards with sentence starters already on them to support this exact strategy. Okay. So we've got 3 really powerful strategies, but the big question is always, how in the world do I fit this into my already jammed schedule? I get it. So let's look at a simple timeline that makes this feel totally doable. Here's a simple plan. When you start the school year in September, try to use one of these strategies twice a week. That's going to build momentum and get the routines down. By October, when the kids know the drill, you can drop it to once a week. And then from November on, you can just use them as bi-weekly touch points to keep things fresh. It's all about building a sustainable habit, not burning yourself out.
So if you take away anything today, let it be this. First, scaffold with sentence frames to build that foundational confidence. Second, go multimodal to give every single learner a path to show you what they can do. And third, use structured pure roles so that every single student has a voice in your classroom.
All the tools that I've mentioned today, the posters, the templates, the roll cards, they're all in the free B1, B2 Inclusive Annual Plan Kit. Honestly, if you were to buy a resource pack like this on a site like Teachers Pay Teachers, it would probably cost you around $50.
But it is completely 100% free for you. The download link is waiting for you in the description below this explainer.
Just remember to use that password you see on the screen to unlock everything.
If this was valuable for you, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next resource drop. And finally, I make these for you, so please leave a comment below and let me know, what resource do you need next? I'll actually build what you ask for. Thank you so much for joining me, and here's to a more inclusive classroom for every one of your students.